Okay, in this lesson, we are going to talk about multiplying fractions. By the end of this lesson, you should be able to say, I can multiply fractions, mixed numbers, and whole numbers. When you multiply two fractions, you simply multiply the numerators, then multiply the denominators. So in this problem, I would multiply 4 times 4 and 5 times 12, which would give me 16 over 60. Now when I'm done, I need to simplify my answer. 16 over 60 simplifies to 4/15. Here's another example. In this example, you can see that the fractions can be simplified. Simplifying your fractions makes multiplying easier because you won't have to do that in the end. I can take 3/9 and turn it into 1/3, 6/12 and turn it into 1/2. Then I multiply 1/3 times 1/2. 1 times 1 is 1, and 3 times 2 is 6. So 1/6 is my answer, and it's already in simplest terms. I can simplify diagonally. So for example, in this problem, I can see that 10 and 5, a number in the denominator and a number in the numerator, have a common factor of 5. So 10 divided by 5 is 2, and 5 divided by 5 is 1. I can also see that 4 and 12 have a common factor of 4. 4 divided by 4 is 1, 12 divided by 4 is 3. So now I can multiply 1/2 times 1/3. And again, I multiply my numerators, then I multiply my denominators, and I get 1/6. When I have a whole number, I have to turn that whole number into a fraction. Now, every whole number is a fraction with a denominator of 1. So once I turn my whole number into a fraction by putting 1 in the denominator and the whole number in the numerator, I multiply straight across again. 2 times 5 and 3 times 1, which gives me 10 over 3, or 10/3. Then I need to simplify this turn this improper fraction into a mixed number. 3 1/3. Now it's your turn to practice. On the next screen, you will see 4 questions. Pause the video and do those 4 questions, then hit play because there will be a part 2. Pause the video now and do numbers 1 through 4 in your notebooks. When you multiply with mixed numbers, you have to convert the improper fractions first. Then you can multiply just like you would any other fraction. So I would have to turn 2 1/2 into an improper fraction and 3 1/4 into an improper fraction. Then I multiply straight across just like I did when I was multiplying proper fractions. 5 times 13 and 2 times 4, which gives me 65 over 8. Then I need to simplify this answer and turn it back into a mixed number. 8 1/8. Again, if I simplify before, this makes it easier in the end, and I shouldn't have to simplify at all if I do it correctly. You can do this with improper fractions the same way you did with regular fractions. Let's review. 3/9 becomes 1/3, 6/12 becomes 1/2, and I multiply straight across to get 1/6. Again, I can multiply diagonally. 5 goes into 10 and 5, and since 10 is in the denominator and 5 is in the numerator, I can do this. Same with 4 and 12, and I multiply across. When I have two mixed numbers, I first turn them into improper fractions, then see if I can simplify anywhere. 5 can go into 5 and 15. So I simplify. 5 goes into 5 one time, 5 goes into 15 3 times. Then I simplify 2 and 16 because 2 can go into 2 once and 2 can go into 16 8 times. Then I multiply as I normally would any two fractions. 8 times 3 and 1 times 1, which gives me 24 over 1, which equals 24. On the next screen, you will see 3 questions. Pause the video and complete these 3 questions in your notebooks. After that, the video is done, so don't forget to WSQ in your notebooks.